Hi, I'm Holly and I'm going to show you how to use your seam allowance guide. Traditionally, if you had to add your seam allowance to patterns like Marfy Patterns, Japanese pattern books, and also Burdastyle Magazine patterns, you'd have to trace all the way around your pattern piece with a tailor's chalk and your ruler, and it can be very time consuming, especially if you've got a lot of pattern pieces. And I was doing this one day and got very frustrated and came up with this little gadget. This is called the seam allowance guide, and it's very simple to use. All you have to do is just place it on your scissors like this. It's got a very strong rare earth magnet which is quite difficult to take off. Mark your seam allowance only once, and you measure, I'm going to be using 1.5 centimeters, which is 5/8 of an inch, just on my pattern piece here. Just draw a line. Attach your gadget to your scissors, cut into your fabric at the chalk mark, just about here. I'll move my gadget along there, and then line up your little black band along the edge of the pattern piece, which goes just about there, and then start cutting. Keep the black band along the edge of your pattern piece at all times. The more practice you have, the quicker you can go. Just along there, and now you have your perfect seam allowance without having to trace. Now if you want to just double check that you've got the band in the correct position, okay, there you go, that's exactly 1.5 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters, that's 1.6, just a tiny bit over, and that's 1.5 centimeters. So I've got my band in the right position. I can continue cutting along all the way around my pattern. Now there's two gadgets, there's a green one and a yellow one. There you go, very strong magnet. The green one is flush, it's 90 degrees to the scissors. Some scissors have a slight slope in them, and some of them are exactly perpendicular to the table. If your scissors are flat, you use the green one. You can also use the green one at the axis on sloping scissors, and just at the tip on sloping scissors as well. And so that the green one is for flat scissors. The yellow one has this 3-degree angle on it. So if your scissors have a sloping blade, hopefully you can see that, you pop it on here and you just rotate it around until it's parallel to the table. The position where you have your gadget depends on your cutting style and also the shape of the pattern piece. If you're going to be doing long straight lines, you can position it further back. If you're going to be doing small curves like this, you position it further forward, because you only open your scissors a little bit. So I'll just pop this on here. There you go, there's your seam allowance added just there again. And the great thing about having this gadget on here is that if you're adding seam allowances, you won't forget that you actually have to add them and cut next to the pattern piece. So hopefully this will make your sewing life a little bit quicker, and if you want to grab yourself one, you can go to seamallowanceguide.com. Thank you and happy sewing.